Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, veterinarian from Africa and elsewhere. I would like to give you the gist of my experience and all my wisdom in trying to make your life better and to help you to plan the next step in your career, whether you are a veterinarian or a veterinary technician. What you would like to do with your career. Would you like to sit for the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons? Would you like to sit for the Navale? Or you would like to go into research or something else? I hope after watching this video you will be able to decide. So the first steps into getting into anything is to make sure that you are personally ready. And when we say personally, it means the things that has nothing to do with your circumstances, basically. So you have to study very well, and you have to compile this information. You have to be very intelligent in seeking the experience, because veterinary and physicians and dentistry is called a career. A career means something that has to be done by hand, and it has to be honed during experience. And sometimes, especially in obstetrics, you don't need a vet to teach you. No, most of the time the shepherds and the herdsmen are more experienced than the vet, because they did it for a very long time, so they know how to maneuver a calf out and when you should intervene and when you should wait. Books should be your support, but you have to be careful which book that you need to study, because each country had its own sources of book. So one piece of information can be right in this country and could be wrong in the other. So if you study for an Navale, it gives you a very good confidence and a base of veterinary knowledge, but it doesn't mean that all the answers that is given on the applications that prepare you for the Navale, like the vet prep, applies to Royal College 1. Just bear that in mind. And before you do anything, you have to just pray, whatsoever your faith is, because when you do, you just feel that you are more connected to your creator. So you'll feel more confidence, because it's a very difficult task to be done. The family commitment is very important, as they are your area of support. I don't think leaving your family behind is a good idea, no at all, because you need support of moral one, and they keep the stress levels very low, which is very important. You need always to be drived, to be motivated, and you need someone just to be around to tell you that, Daddy, you had done a very nice job. We know that you are tired. And just having a laugh, it's very important for your relaxation. Finances and work is a balanced thing. So your wife can work in England, and if you have children over 18, can visit and during their visit you can sort any type of part-time employment for them. I'm not sure if you are not a Commonwealth country what will happen, but the types of jobs that can be done is babysitters, cleaners, and I had so many Malay friends who came to England to study a PhD, and their husbands used to come and work whatsoever was available. So and you learn the language, by the way, down the line when you are working these jobs. Also, you can work other jobs or part-time jobs like a meat inspectors during weekends. You can work as a farmer or a part-time work in Amazon. So while you are studying, you can work and save. The visa depends on your status, and I think the best thing is to check on the website of the government. Make sure it's a governmental website. From you always find .org.uk on all the government websites. We should discuss the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons first. So the exam fees is £2,500, and there is a window frame to pay this sum. It's composed of two parts, a theory part and OSCE. This is a practical one, and you have to pass both. There is a few amendments that still not materialized yet. The first exam, which is the theory, is only online, so you don't need a visa and you don't need to come over to England. But the computer is a key, because a certain versions of Windows, like Windows 7, will not permit the website to extract your answering files. And I know of someone who failed the exam because of this. So his files were not submitted at all, and sadly he still had the results fair and square, sadly. So I guess you have to be very careful. If you would like to apply for the visa after you pass the theory, I don't think this is a good idea, because you might miss your exam and you will need to wait for a full year before you can sit. But sometimes it could be a blessing, because you will have more time to hone your experiences in seeing practice more. The OSCE is done at the University of Edinburgh. And before we go, I just would like to tell you that the University of Edinburgh graduates are just the best, literally the best. They had, in their third year of study, they had to help the junior students, so they know how to explain the information. But you have to bear something very important in mind. The syllabus in England is not a single one. So you have a syllabus that's been taught at the Russell's Group, which are the elite universities of England. And then you have the lower ranking universities. So before you go to a C practice, you have to know from which university this graduate is, because if you have a photographic memory, you will be struggling to amend this this information that you saw, or the way he did operations or she did operation, and you will just think it's the acceptable method of doing stuff, but it's not. And the people are not censored. No, it's democracy even in veterinary medicine. So as long as the patient owner does not complain and he's happy with his work, he can do whatsoever he like. It could be right, wrong, as long as no one is getting hurt. They can still do whatsoever they like with the box. Sadly, that's not the case for us sitting the exam. We don't have that luxury of picking the thing that we think that could be right. Even if we had a very strong compiled experience, still we have to go with the just the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons. I'm not sure how this can be fixed, but I think the only way is just generalizing this exam for the British and the international veterinary surgeons, and by this we'll be on the same page on all the exams. But I don't think they will ever do that, to be honest. So let's go to the pros and cons of the exam. It's once per year, so you have to wait a long time. It will make you able to work in the 4 parts of England, so that's a merit. I'm not sure about about the Republic of Ireland. I think North Ireland, yes. And also the Commonwealth, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. If it was an easy exam, I would recommend it, but it's not. And yeah, it depends, of course, on so many things. So let's not jump into conclusions. After you pass, you will have a very nice premium salaries, and you will feel very stable financially. Okay. As for practicing, you should decide on which species you would like to work on, and mixed practice is not something that you find easily. But the farmer vet can work small animals, but not the other way round, if you know what I mean. And most of the graduates prefer working on small animals, so they are the majority of the working force. You have just to bear in mind, you have to be very compassionate with your pets. So I think we are in Africa struggle with this, so we keep our relationship professional. So as for the British people, they might not give you most of the time they would not acknowledge your presence. But if they had a pet and you are treating their animal, they expect that you should show appreciation and acknowledging, and be sincere to the pleasantries. Okay. The hours are demanding, you have to admit. And as for equine vets, I think it's just reserved for the elites. I don't think it's open to all the people. No, I think it's just reserved for the cream of the vets. And yeah, but good luck. Definitely you can try to get employments. Okay. Yes, yeah, I totally agree with the last sentence. And the equine vets are just reserved for small groups of elite whites. I had never seen any black vet working in equine. And to be very honest, whenever I would work, you can see that they are very curious to see who is this black lady. They are not racist, no, but you can see that they were very astonished. And when I start talking to them, they are very supportive, but I don't think they can accept our race in their life. Of course, all I'm saying is just a personal experiences. It doesn't mean it's going to apply to all of us. It's just something I had to say very, very honestly to my people in Sudan. Okay. My personal opinion, I don't think it's a good option. No. Because some of the ideas I just discussed with you, yeah, the elites and the non-elites, and in order to pass, some of the races started to cheat. Sadly, I don't recommend you go down that line. No, you should never cheat, because God is never on a sabbatical. So make sure that you will not go that path now. So the result, which is the most important thing, as I say, the litmus test of honesty, not honesty, no, the litmus test of fairness, yes, I think that's the word, is not being granted in the result of this exam. So instead of receiving your result in a digital form or a percentage form, you will usually receive your result like this. So as you can see, this is my results, and you will find it's a percentage. No, it's not a percentage. It's a proportional percentage to the passing graph. The problem is where this graph goes. Is it the upper 10, the upper 20, the upper 30? Because this graph, you can have a 99.99 and still you will be struggling to pass if you were sitting with or taking the exams with veterinary geeks. So if they were that intelligent, the top 20 can raise the graph with them, which is, I think it's very, very unfair. I need to know my result as something that I can rationale to. So in this one, I got like 60, so I need to study more. This one, I got 90, which is very nice. I don't need to study more. But as for equine, which I passed, I could have passed while scoring only 50 because the exam was difficult and no one managed to pass. And the exam was really, really difficult. And the companion animals were so easy. I don't know how I failed, but this is what happened. So if all the people that I took the exam with had 80, and I had 75, which is an A star in the scoring method for the GCSE and A level, still I fail. So I guess if I paid for the exam, I had the right to get the result. So I don't think it's a good idea at all. And if you look at my results on the production animals, so I didn't get the passing point by not 0.05. So if I scored not 0.05, I could have passed. Okay. If we try to calculate how much 0.05 out of the 350 circles that I had to sit. So it's just, I don't think mathematically this can be legitimate, no. Some people are advising to speak to the member of parliament or go to a legal pathway, but to be honest, no, not interested at all. I think the best exam that you need to, if you would like to practice, is to sit for the Irish Republic. These people are very fair, and you can judge if you are doing it right or wrong. And the exam is very acceptable, by the way, and you can pass it. And if you didn't pass it and you had a soft fall, they can be very compassionate on this ground, because literally they want you to work, and this is the most important thing. I don't think the British people would like us, the newcomers, to work as a vet. No, the shortages are in other sector of veterinary, the veterinary sections like meat inspections and stuff like that. So they still need us to work, but in this particular category, yeah. And of course, we do understand this very, very. It's their country. We cannot argue with that by any chance. No, but I think if you think about it, sometimes I would like, for my condition, I'm working in academia. I don't want to practice in England. I don't see myself in any type of practice, because people are not honest. Sorry, not honest. No, they are not as transparent as us. So when they hate someone, they will just be very civilized, but they will make sure on the first fault, or yeah, they can make you go, in short. So you have to be very careful to find an area where you can feel that you are welcomed and you are going to learn. And sadly, I can see that, because I studied in the University of Nottingham. Most of the graduates wouldn't work, not even as a vets, as a doctors also. They don't work because they feel very stressed by being censored. And they keep on asking other races to come and work for them, but still they are not happy with the presence of other races, and I don't know how they can fix that. So yeah, good luck for them. So what is the alternative? You cannot stay in a cliffhanger all your life. If you fail an exam and you tried it again and you didn't pass, I think it's high time to think about other alternatives. So you can apply to be a meat inspector, or you can try to rent a land, if this is possible. I'm not sure. You can check on the Welsh website. I don't think the England or Scotland would approve of that, but I'm not sure about North Ireland or Welsh. So you can rent a land and do some farms and stuff like that. Technician jobs are very easy to find, and if you don't have this arrogant feelings, and your pride will not be compromised by any chance, I think you will definitely benefit from working over there. As I said before, the Republic of Ireland is very fair, and I think they are the best nation in Europe, to be honest. They are very humble, and they are very compassionate with other races. I have so many family members living over there, and most of the time the Sudanese doctors would sit the exam of the Republic of Ireland rather than doing it here in England, and they will pass with flying colors, as they say. Research is another option. There is a Dean scholarship in several universities, Just make sure that you write a very good abstract without disclosing all your ideas. Ideas are getting stolen by the minute, sadly. So instead of putting what type of herbs or what type of combination of drugs that you would like to try, it's better to say just a general word. And the supervisor is a key. Sometimes the supervisors can make sure to turn your life into mere hell. So try to just make your relationships civilized. Take your time in studying him or her. See if they would like just to siphon your money, and or they are genuinely interested in your progress. And if you can ask this about ask this piece of information about the people who did graduate from that university from your race. And this bring a very strange piece of information that I learned about, that the veterinary career is reserved for the very rich and superior students. So students usually come with their horses to the university, and in 2010 I was the first black lady in the University of Nottingham, and the university had a history of 100 years, which is, I was just alarmed. I didn't know. My supervisor, his name is Paul Barrow. I just loved him. He's so kind and was very supportive during my PhD studies. I had another supervisor, but he was, I think he's junior. His name was Neil Foster. Also was very nice, very nice. They both taught me how do they think, and how do they employ people, and how the British people think about stuff. So I owe every progress in my career in England to both of them. And he used to come to my office and would say, Hiba, by the way, you are the first one of your race. Sorry, you are the first one to get admitted. I thought maybe because I was old and a lady, or coming from Sudan. But when I looked at the indices of the races, I was alarmed very much. Why? I couldn't believe no one applied. No, definitely they would have applied, and for some reason they didn't manage to get acceptance. Also, I couldn't see. I saw two students from Asian backgrounds, which is, I think, very, very strange. And as for these minorities, I don't think they work like the normal vets, no, because they had their castles and farms, and that's why there is a shortage. So if you think how many universities in England and how many graduate per year, you just wonder why they do have a shortage. So yeah, just try to think about what is the next step afterwards. If you would like to work in the Gulf, for example, or work in Saudi Arabia, in any other oil-rich, I advise you to learn Arabic as well. You will definitely get employed, and you will be paid by the minute, as I say. You will be Bill Gates. The Navali is very fair and square, as I say. Circles, after the exam, you will get your results straight away. You passed with flying colors, or you failed. And they will give you the charts of how many falls and how many rides. The problem with Navali, there is a 32 Navali's exams in USA, and every a single state has its different navally because of the geographic the elements. So the state with caves, they will look for bats and rabies transmission, and when they have more water, they tend to have more fungal infections, and definitely more than that. So it's just, I'm giving you the ramification of the geographic impact on the exam. And it's 3 times per year, which is very nice, and the fees are very decent. It's only 750, and there is an extra 350 for international candidates. So they are really open to the other races, and they are very keen for you to work. Maybe because the USA doesn't have ownership race, if you know what I mean. Because yes, it was invaded by Europe, they extinct the Red Indians, but afterwards they were inundated with other races. So to some extent, there is no a white supremacy as in England. Not, sorry, let me rephrase it in a nice way. So the white cannot, they cannot be the majority in all sections of work. So they have their own type of racism, and they prefer their own race. Of course, this is very acceptable. But still, if you would like to study, no one is going to be against your will. No. And there is also so many Syrian and Iraqis vets. I think they are the best race to help you if you decided to go over there. You need them to teach you the OSCEs and how you manipulate stuff. Especially the Syrians are very helpful. Okay, this is a YouTube. It's for the people who would like to see why we passed or why we didn't pass. Because, you know, at any time frame of your life, there is always a twist here and there. And I don't believe there is anything called a coincidence. I believe that God had the plan measured by the nano centimeters. You go there, you meet that, and you do this, and you succeed. You go left, you meet this, he ruined your life, and then you'll start all over again. So if you didn't pass, it means God had a nicer plan, and he had something still very happy down the line. It doesn't mean that you are a failure. No at all. And I don't believe in just throwing the glove. No, because most of the time God will ask us about how we drive ourselves, how we try again and again. Because if you think about it, God had never asked Noah that all this 1,000 years you had been a failure. You didn't manage to get so many people to be a believers. And what took you that long to build the ark? And even when you did, the people inside were just the minorities. I had to flood the whole earth. No, that is not how God addressed his prophet. No, he just delivered him, and he had never thought that he's going to inundate the globe when he needed. So all you have to do is just think about the positive of the success or the failure, and just try always to make your life, every day of your life, very happy day. By this you will get the next chapters of your life very easily. If you would like to do anything, you have to sit down with yourself and ask why you would like to do this. Sometimes when this step is not suitable to your future, God will make sure that you will never go that pathway. And I advise you to look at Steve Harvey videos. I think he's the best man. He can talk about faith. I am a Muslim, and I kid you not, I learned about faith more from this man than any Muslim's sermon or a book or a Quran. No, because when he speaks, he just gives you an idea about the plans were even twisted at a certain time so you can succeed. So have a look at your area of expertise and see how you can be more successful in that part, rather than trying to establish new plans or new ways that you are not confident to do. It doesn't mean you don't have to be ambitious, but just try to think in a more critical way about why you didn't go that path or why you did. Okay. At last, I would like to wish you all the best, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Just drop me a line and I will avail myself for you, and wish you all the best and your families all the happiness that studying can bring. Thank you.